Hey, this is Ty Givens from the Workforce Pro, where ultimately I help businesses build and scale their contact centers and their customer support team. I worked for brands like Thrive Market and ShoeDazzle to help them build for scale, and now I am here to help you build for scale. Recently, I hosted an event where I was supposed to cover Black Friday readiness, but the conversation didn't quite go that way. So as promised, here are my tips on being prepared for Black Friday and what's to come, because that's next week? So 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks. Thanksgiving is normally a little bit sooner, but that's all right. Okay, so just a couple of my pointers from working with some e-commerce brands that I know of, and I want to share that with you. If you feel differently or you have more pointers, comment below. Feel free to do that because we can all learn from each other, right? Right. Okay, so here we go. Promotions. This might seem pretty remedial, but the question is, do you know which promotions are running? Has marketing shared that? Sometimes we get that information like a few days before, and that's a very scary thought. So the question is, do you know what's happening and is your team ready? I don't know exactly how you go about setting up and making sure that your employees know about the marketing promotions that are happening, but make sure that you do that and make sure that they understand them. Test your discount codes. I can't stress this enough. Nothing will kill your incoming volume than a discount code that doesn't apply properly or doesn't work. Make sure that any language that's on your promos is very clear. Now, when you're working with marketing, you can ask them to put in these blurbs, but make sure that you are vetting it yourself as the CX person, or have a person from the CX team do the vetting, because these are the people who talk to the customers every single day. So they're going to know the types of questions that the customers are going to ask. So you need to put that in the hands of one of your team members who is in the know. Let me see if I can hide this. Yes, I can. All right. Shipping. Are you offering free shipping? Does that kill your inbound volume? It used to kill ours. We would get a ton of orders, which was amazing, but then that also backed up the warehouse. So do you know how many orders can be shipped daily from your warehouse? Do you know how many orders you're expecting? So you can use this to predict about, do any predictions on possible shipping delays to get in front of the communication. And then also, is your warehouse open on Black Friday? Are they going to be shipping on Black Friday? Are they going to be shipping over the weekend? So you can do some math and decide, okay, if we're doing, if the warehouse has capacity to do 1,000 orders and we're expecting 2,000 orders and they're going to be closed on Black Friday, then we know that come, say, Saturday, they're going to be responsible for shipping at least 4,000 orders. I think that logic works. If it doesn't, you know where I'm going. The team, are they aware of all the promotions that are running? Do they have levels of control to appease the customer? So if the customer is missing something out of their order, can they just go ahead and resend it? If so, is there a spend capacity that the CX team member is eligible to take advantage of? Are you going to run all of your channels? For example, are you going to keep phones open, emails, social media, live chat? Are you going to limit any channels? And are you going to run overtime? So these are all things you need to think about and have a plan for. Mea culpa. So what are you going to do to make everything smooth? Because you know what? Things don't always work as planned. So what are you going to offer the customer when their order is received damaged or if something is missing? Are you prepared to be proactive with your outreach? As I mentioned when I talked about the shipping delays. So you want to make sure that if you know that someone's order that was placed on, Friday is not going to ship until Monday, that's 3 additional days on their delivery, be transparent and communicate that. And if you're offering any type of gift with purchase, make sure you have a plan on what to do when you run out. Just a tip, what we used to do, because a lot of our stuff was manual. I was very close to the head of product and she kept an eye on things and we stayed in communication. So when it got down to, maybe we had, 200 left or whatever the gift with purchase was, we immediately took it off the website because there were going to be some residual orders, and believe it or not, customers have an expectation that they get a make good for a free item, because that free item is what prompted them to make the order in the first place. All right, so those are my tips on Black Friday readiness. Next, I'm going to talk to you really quickly about handling absences. All right, so during the holidays, typically what I would do is take preferences from the team, because the idea is to try to give everybody something. Not everyone's going to get all of the holidays off, but try to give everybody something, and then get ahead with blackout dates. I once joined a company literally the week of Thanksgiving, so the week of Black Friday, and there was no plan for how to handle Black Friday, and I made a really bad choice by saying, yeah, let's open with a skeleton crew, and marketing thought it would be really cool to run a promotion where the discounts changed hourly. That didn't go over well, as you can probably imagine. But when it came time for the Christmas holiday, I was down to literally one supervisor, because everyone had scheduled themselves off because there was no one overseeing that team at the time. So some of the things that I do to get ahead of holiday planning is, one, set the blackout dates. Are there going to be any dates where you're not going to be able to allow time off? It's not popular, but it's the reality if you're in an e-commerce company. Set a rule that says if a person calls out the day before or after the holiday, they don't get paid. Now, depending on the culture of the company that you work for, that may or may not go over well. But ultimately, when customers are experiencing the delays, you as head of CX is going to be the one responsible for that. So tell them they have to help you help them. Offer work from home or remote options during the holidays. A lot of times people just want to go visit their family and spend time someplace else. And so in order to do that, if you give them the option to work remotely, they won't have to use PTO, and you don't have to worry about coverage. I talked about getting as many preferences as possible. Leadership, obviously, there's a many to one ratio, many frontline to one leader. So your leadership needs are going to be pretty scarce. You're going to have scarce resources there. So rotate those holidays. I used to look at the calendar for the year and have my leadership team tell me which holidays they were going to cover. That way there was no surprise. So however many holidays we had, we divided up, and we just automatically knew those were going to be the days that we covered. I jumped into. Lastly, don't be afraid of the "I already bought my ticket" excuse. People love to use this one, and they somehow feel like they've given you like the, there's nothing you can do about it. But what you can do is hold them accountable for an absence that's not excused or approved. And depending on if you have a policy, you can go from there. I know that might sound like a little bit of a slap on the hands, but going to buy your plane ticket before the time is approved is also a slap on the hands, but a slap on your hands. So anyway, those are my tips. Handling absences, getting ready for Black Friday. Comment below. Tell me what your tips are, some of the things that you're doing. And I hope everyone enjoys their holiday season.